Welcome, Ram fans, to Monday Morning Cup of Coffee. I'm your host, Steve Ivy. Glad to have you here, and I'm excited. We'll be doing a lot of, I think, some fun things today, tying up some loose ends, talking about some fun things that happened over the weekend, talking about some upcoming future stuff. Anyway, welcome. First, I want to give a great big shout out and thanks to all of you who have been following directions, subscribing, leaving likes, doing those things, and really helping me out to help the channel grow. I beg you, as usual, to continue to subscribe to Crackers College Hoops, my YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the like button, but it really is helping with the algorithm. I'm getting more and more views. The channel is growing. I don't know if I'll ever get to 2 million subscribers like some people, but I'm about to hit 100 and I'm happy. And we're going to go from 100 to 200 and 200 to 300. We're just going to keep growing it together. I'm really encouraged by what people are doing. I'm getting all kinds of to fun ideas. And as you know, if you've followed and you've seen some of the previous videos, you're aware that I've declared October National Park Month. I'm not going to go into the reasons again, but bottom line is I love our national parks. I'm using as my background a photo from a national park in the month of October. And I would encourage you to keep sending ideas. Send your photos to me of national parks. This photo is another photo this is from Glacier National Park in Montana. And this is from one of my guests from last Thursday night, Trone Johnson from Aztec Breakdown, who joined me and Tom Moser from Top of the Mountain West podcast. And we had an engaging hour together talking about the upcoming season in the Mountain West. If you haven't seen that video, I'd encourage you to go back and take a look. You'll get a real good feel for what the Mountain West is going to look like in 24-25 after the banner year of 23 and 24. And you'll get a feel for who we thought were going to be the top teams in the league and who are the top players, breakout players, newcomers, all kinds of stuff. And it was really, really good discussion. Those guys are outstanding. But I would love for you to send me more photos. I can break out my national park pictures, but feel free to send me one of yours of a national park to crackerscollegehoops@gmail.com. And also any idea you have for a future show. As I mentioned last time, I'm getting all kinds of fun ideas, and some of them are pretty creative and they're going to take a little bit of work. I wish I could get them done in a day or two, but there's a lot of logistical stuff that needs to take place. But I'm working on 2 or 3 things. Also working on interviews. I started talking a few weeks ago how I touched bases with both Isaiah and David Roddy, and we're expecting to have them on the show sometime in the near future. Isaiah is currently tied up trying to make the Miami Heat basketball team. He's in preseason right now, spent last week in the Bahamas, this week in training, not just training camp, but preseason games, played his first preseason game for Miami up in Charlotte, scored his first points in a preseason game, had several assists, several steals as well, and generally played pretty well. Didn't make a shot, but did make his free throws. Anyway, he's trying to make the team, and it's I don't want to bother him, and he certainly is very, very focused. And Roddy's in the same place. Roddy had a good opening game with Atlanta, shot 3 for 3. Including a 3, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, played 16 minutes, had 8 points and 4 rebounds. But he's very engrossed in trying to push his way into a bigger and bigger role with the Atlanta Hawks. So we'll have them at some point, but I don't anticipate anything with them this week. So with that in mind, let's move on. First, I want to just briefly touch on the football game that happened that was played on Saturday afternoon. I watched it on TV. I did not go to the game. My last week to week and a half has been very limited in what I can do. I can record things. I can get out of the house a little bit, but my wife had back surgery about 10 or 11 days ago. She had a single fusion. She was in bed for about 3 or 4 days. She's recovering very, very well, but it's taken a lot of time, and it's been hard to get away for a day. I can get away for an hour here, hour there, but to try and get away for a football game is too tough. But I did watch it on TV, and I enjoyed it very, very much. CSU played probably their best game, so congrats to Jay Norvell for a very good win. Congrats to him and his staff and his players over San Jose State. And, it was a solid performance, 31-24. It actually felt like it could have been more, couple of small mistakes. But all in all, a very, very solid performance. And one of the things, I always talk about, if you ever ask me about the importance of winning, programs that win breed more winning. Programs that lose tend to breed more losing. And CSU is trying to move from that losing mentality into a winning mentality. And, sometimes, you hear the expression, you have to learn how to win. And I don't buy that 100% because most of the guys that are playing in these games were winners in high school. They know how to win, but they don't know how to win in the particular environment they're in with the particular teammates and with the particular coaching staff. And they're all growing together. And you want to talk about a big win. Everybody goes, well, San Jose State, how good are they really? They had won 8 straight Mountain West Conference football games coming into Fort Collins last Saturday. So to get a win over San Jose State, they've been winning. And so it was a really, really good performance for Jay Norvell and company, and hopefully that will continue. That's my yak on football. Upcoming this week with CSU, obviously they're heading toward the November 4th, which is the very first game, October 30th, an exhibition game with Adams State. But we're looking at this weekend, a closed-door scrimmage with Washington State, future Pac-12 member Washington State, tournament team last year. Their coach left and is now at Stanford. So they have a relatively new team, but the coach came over from Eastern Washington, brought over a few of his key players from Eastern Washington who are very, very good Big Sky players. And it'll be a good experience for our guys. I plan to go to a practice this week, and I'll see if I can talk to Coach Medved and maybe some of the players, obviously, to talk to Coach Medved about, I think it'll be interesting to hear what kinds of things. Is it really a scrimmage that's run like a 40-minute, a true game, or are there some things that they do that maybe they ask the other coach to do things a certain way? Do they set things up a certain way? And then for the players, I want to talk about how excited they are to finally be playing somebody other than their own teammates. I think they get bored after a while. Everybody starts anticipating everybody's moves. They've seen all the sets. They know exactly what they're trying to run, and it becomes a little bit of a arduous task to keep focused on what they need to get done in practice when they're practicing against each other. But I'll see if I can get some people to chat with me about what they're looking forward to this weekend. But that's upcoming. So closed door scrimmage on the weekend, and then the following week, homecoming weekend for the football team. On the 25th, they'll be doing a scrimmage, an intra-squad scrimmage in Moby Arena. It's a Friday night at 5 p.m., and that'll be something I'm looking forward to. And I think I'm guessing there's going to be a pretty good crowd with students, alums, locals. I think everybody's looking forward to getting their first look at the team. Obviously, I've seen them, but I want to see them in an actual game situation. 7-on-7, Medved on one sideline, Farouk Manesh, Cooley, Shelton, Deweese. Who knows who's going to end up where? But I'm looking forward to that. So that's October, Friday, October 25th at 5 p.m. So that's my setup. Now I'm going to get into the meat of the program. Just to let you know, if you go back to several shows and some of the earlier shows I did, the streams I did, I talked about the returning players, the Nick Cliffords and the Jalen Lakes and the Kyan Evans and Rashawn Mbembas and what we can expect. And then I also talked about the newcomers, 5 newcomers through the portal: Bowen Bourne, Ethan Morton, Jalen Crocker Johnson, Nicola Joppa, and who am I forgetting? I'm sorry, my mind. I'm missing a 5th player. I'll remember it in a little bit. But I've been promising all along that I was going to do a preview of all the freshmen. And if you've gone to watch some of my streams, I've had a chance to see some of them and see them play, and I've talked a little bit about them in practice. But I wanted to just do some highlight stuff just to give you a feel for what these players are all about. So I'm going to cover them out in alphabetical order. At the end, I'll just kind of summarize. We'll talk about where I think they're all at in terms of how much they might play as a freshman, and where and beyond with CSU, what their contributions are going to be. In short, I'm pretty excited. But let's go through each of them individually. First, let's do Kyle Jorgensen. Kyle is a 6'9", 225-pound forward center who can put the ball on the floor. You see that last highlight there. And then let's continue it. I'm just going to the basket. This is Kyle catching the ball on the wing, posting somebody up. CSU runs a lot of different actions, a lot of different motions, but a lot of what they'll do some screen and rolls from the wing. And you'll see, if you remember, Roddy and Stevens were really, really good in getting Roddy getting the ball in this position and scoring. This is Kyle in high school. You'll see him operate. And then just nice position the guy, physically go around him, shoot a nice easy layup. So this one here, rebound. This was a late game situation, the rebound, and watch who the ball goes to. This is a 1-point game in the last 5 minutes, and look who the ball goes to. It goes to Kyle Jorgensen to bring the ball up. So you're talking about a guy that's comfortable handling the ball out of the backcourt. Is he going to do that a lot with CSU? Maybe not a lot to begin with, but I think over time, to ease the pressure against any kind of press. You saw CSU last year use Joel Scott a lot to do that. I think this year you'll see guys like Ethan Morton and Jalen Crocker Johnson even maybe getting involved with that. But watch this sequence, bringing the ball up, and just slowly getting into the half-court offense. Gets the ball up top, surveys the situation. Of course, the next thing coming is what's exciting, because you got a 6'9", 225 guy that can bury threes. And then finally, the last highlight I want to show, just free throws. And you go, oh, Steve, what's the big deal of free throws? Well, this is the end of a very close game. He had been fouled and calmly walked to the line with 5 seconds to go. And I just want to show you the last 5 seconds, because this is how you finish out a game. Free throws, 1, buried, second one, buried, get back on defense. You'll watch he's in position to close out and force a difficult 3. Buzzer sounds, rebound, buzzer. And this is what I really like. Watch this. I like the emotion. I love winners, and I like people who get excited about every game that they win, and that's what I like. So that's Kyle Jorgensen, 6'9", 225, very, very nifty at scoring. What I didn't show was his ability. I've noticed in practice, the practices I've been to, he's very, very slick in terms of scoring around the rim with jump hooks. I'm a big believer in bigs that can shoot jump hooks. If you can shoot a jump hook, you can score regularly at the Division I level. If you can catch the ball on the anywhere near the low block, dribble the ball a couple times, and turn and shoot a 10-foot jump hook. Not a sky hook of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but just a simple jump hook. It's amazing what a weapon that is, and he's already got that to his arsenal. So that's Jorgensen. Let's do John McConan next. John is another player from Minnesota. I didn't mention Kyle's from Minnesota, and let's look at John. Here he is. And I don't have a lot of highlights here. This is John getting the ball on the wing on an inbounds play, and you'll see him going baseline. Lefty. I love lefties. I was a lefty. Not this good. I couldn't do this, but nice finish. Next one, he'll catch the ball out on the perimeter, and similar move, but in the middle through traffic, throws up a wonderful little floater, clean. And then finally, you wouldn't be a 6'8", 195-pound player. That's a wing, expected to be more of a small forward if you can't shoot from the perimeter. Here he is in a catch and shoot situation, shooting a three-pointer. I can tell you right now that he is probably, of the four freshmen, the most athletic of the freshmen. This is a guy who can run. If you watch the drills where they run, he usually is ahead of everybody. He beats guys that are seniors. He's fast. He's athletic. He can run till there's no tomorrow. So very, very athletic, long, lean. When I ran into Joe Palmer a few weeks ago, and Joe looked at me and said, "You got to watch this McConan kid. He'll be an all-defensive player in the Mountain West someday. Maybe not the Mountain West, maybe the Pac-12, but he's headed toward a really, really good, solid career at CSU. Is he ready to play this year? He's probably a little bit raw. He's got a lot to learn, but I can tell you that I think if he doesn't get much time this year, a year of practice, will do really, really well in Nico's system. And I think this will be the heir apparent to Nick Clifford's position, the athletic wing position that Nick is playing right now and will play in one more year at CSU. I think we can look for John to step in for Nick in that particular position. So that's John McConan. Next one is a 6'3" guard from 175-pound guard from Southern California, Darnez Slater. Darnez, let's take a look at him. Just a few highlights. It's a little dark. I apologize. But here, catching the ball over on the wing, turning and shooting, hitting it cleanly. Very, very good at getting to the basket. You'll see this, another shot here. There you go. Catching the ball in the left corner, dribble drive, finish with the left hand. The similarities, well, I remember I asked Coach Medved about him when they were recruiting him and when he committed. And Coach Medved said to me, he's very similar to Dorian Green. Well, that's a pretty good comp. If we get another Dorian Green, we're getting an all-conference guard and somebody who's going to lead us to nothing but 20-win seasons and postseason tournaments. To me, he looks a little bigger than Dorian at 6'3". He actually looks closer to 6'4" to me when I see him in practice, and I don't think he weighs 175 pounds. I think he's closer to 190. The other body he looks remarkably like to me is a guy who used to play for New Mexico, Kendall Williams, who was a top 10 all-time Mountain West player. I'm not trying to put the pressure on Darnez, but very, very similar build. I don't know if he's going to have the game of Kendall, but he definitely has game. This last highlight I'll show, this is him catching and shooting a three. He can shoot. This is a kid that had a game that scored, I believe he had 53 points in a high school game, so he can certainly fill it up. That's Darnez Slater. That's the third player. The last one I'm going to bring on, it's last but not least. Remember, this is alphabetical order. I did not. I don't choose by stars where they are in the 247 rankings. I believe McConan was the highest of all of them in the 247. But all these guys these are all conference, all district, all state kind of players. The last one is Jaden Stepp, who was Oregon Big School Player of the Year. Let's add him and take a look at him. This is a guy, I will tell you right now, I would categorize him as a guy who just looks to score and can score a variety of ways. He's 6'8", he's 220 pounds. He can put the ball on the floor. You can see here, beating two people to the rim, getting fouled. There's a nice and one. The next sequence, this is one I really like. He was closing out on the jump shot in the left corner. You'll see the ball rebounded by his team, and you'll see there it is, the rebound, the run, and there's Mr. Stepp on the right wing. Watch him run the floor. This is a guy who gets up and down the floor really, really well. Very good athletic ability, and finishes with a dunk, flush. I like transition dunks like that, guys that run the floor. So let's watch that again. I just love this stuff. There he comes. Boom. Next highlight, just a rebound, a miss by his teammate. Jaden goes in, gets a rebound. He missed. Jaden went in, got another rebound, missed. But watch what happens. He's got a lot in arsenal. Watch where he is. He's near the free throw line, coming out to the free throw line, turning, shooting a nice little 12-foot jumper. Boom. The kid can score from a lot of places. Let's just, like I said, he looks to score. He gets to the rim. He can shoot threes. I don't have any highlights of him shooting threes. I just grabbed a lot of what I liked in terms of athleticism, not just getting to the rim, but running the floor. And there he is, beating three people and finishing at the rim. And then the last highlight, let me just run it a little bit more. He's actually behind one of his teammates, standing on the free throw line. He's behind four defenders. Watch somebody almost like get shot out of a cannon getting to the rim here. His teammate has the ball going up the right side. Watch how this play develops. And there you go. All of a sudden, runs past everybody, bounce pass, catch, dunk. That's a scorer. That's a guy looking for every opportunity to create easy baskets in transition. A guy that can absolutely score from all over the place. As I said, he was the big school player of the year in the state of Oregon. So that's the four players. And just real quickly, what do I think is going to happen with them? I've seen Kyle Jorgensen probably ahead of everybody else in terms of playing this year. He has skills that really fit as a big in Coach Medved's offense. He shows a lot of ability to a lot of understanding of how the offense runs, catching the ball, setting screens, getting to the basket, shooting threes. He's got a little bit to learn in terms of, obviously they all do, these freshmen, in terms of playing Division I defense at the Mountain West level. But he's got a good body, and he will, I think, contribute. I think we'll see him play some amount of minutes. We aren't looking at anybody in this group that is going to play Isaiah Stevens freshman minutes or David Roddy freshman minutes, but I think Jorgensen has the best chance of anybody to get some minutes. The other guys are going to have to earn them and maybe rely on somebody getting hurt. I don't see McConan, Slater, or Stepp actually moving ahead of the guys they brought in out of the portal and the returners. They're good players, and they are going to be very, very good players. But this year, I think, is going to be one of those years where they're going to be mostly practice players, learning the system. As I mentioned, McConan I think he's Nick Clifford's heir apparent. I think Slater will come in and be a big, strong guard and really, really be useful. He could play this year, but I don't think he's going to get in ahead of the other guys unless there's an injury. But I think by next year he'll be ready. And the same is true with Stepp. I really, really like Stepp's game. He's got to get his when I say his body right, he's 6'8", 220. He doesn't have a bad body, but he's got to get a little stronger in the upper body. He's a pretty strong kid, but I'd like to see him maybe put on 10 pounds. If you can get him to 230 pounds, this guy can be a versatile player that can play the 3 and the 4. pound it inside, shoot from the outside, and run the floor. So this is a core four players that I think are going to be. I don't know if they'll rise to the heights of that important class that Coach Medved had his second year, where he had Isaiah Stevens and Roddy, who became all conference players and players of the year. But that team also had Deshaun Thomas, who played some as a freshman and as a sophomore and junior was very, very productive before he went to play for Montana in the Big Sky, where he was an all-conference player in his final year at Montana in Missoula. And then John Tonje, who was very, very good as over his career through his 4 years at CSU. He'll be playing for Wisconsin this year, but another contributor from that original class. And then the last one was James Moores, who left and went back to New Zealand to play professional basketball. Five solid players, 2 all-conference players. This is the best class since that class. And while I don't think they have necessarily the opportunities that those other guys had for early playing time, because Nico's program was so new back then, I do think they're going to be contributors, some this year, but really starting next year, and hopefully they'll stick around. Anyway, I see these guys. There's some pretty good size here. Like I said, I think Slater's 6'4", McConan 6'8", Stepp 6'8", Jorgensen 6'9". I think they'll all be pretty strong and beefy. If we can keep these guys around, this is going to be a core group of people that's going to win a lot of games in the Mountain West. So that's my take on that group. I'm going to wrap up. And I want to close with something that I want to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of a teaser in a bit.
Aren't looking for it.
Let me get rid of that for a second and bring it back. My Thursday night show, I've branded as Swallowpalooza Thursday, and I'm really, really excited about what's been going on. I do it live. I can pretend that I'm doing this live and pretend I'm drinking a cup of coffee, but it's really, I record this show on Sunday night. This is a pre-recorded show. Thursday night is all live, and live shows are a lot more fun. Not just getting the guests I get, but the interactive part with people, with the live chat and the like. It is just a lot more fun to do live shows. I love the Monday morning concept because it's kind of my brand. I have been doing a Monday morning cup of coffee on my blog for several years. And then when I started my podcast, I did Monday morning cup of coffee. And it's just something that's worked really, really well for me in terms of my branding. Well, it turns out that live shows on Monday morning at YouTube are not recommended. And I don't, that's just the way it works. More people watch at different times, and Monday morning shows aren't necessarily the right thing to do in terms of getting people to watch live, interact live. But you know what? I'm stubborn. I want to make this thing work. I want to make this whole branding thing work. So I'm going to be really, really spicing up Monday morning. And I will be going live starting next Monday. This will be the last pre-recorded Monday show. Next time you see me with a cup of coffee, I will have real coffee. Anyway, here's a little bit of a teaser.
Aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And there we go. Hopefully you'll tune in on Thursday night. I don't have my guests lined up totally for Thursday night, but this is a teaser. You'll see the full teaser on Thursday, and you'll learn where the show is headed on Monday. But it'll be a 30-minute show. You can see I'm really pushing to hit this show in exactly 30 minutes. We're almost dead on. It'll be a 30-minute show. We'll recap what's going on the previous few days over the weekend, bring on one guest and do a live interview with somebody, and then we'll close with what we're looking forward to and some of our hot takes for the coming week. I will be doing it with a partner. I will be introducing that partner on Thursday, and he will be I already gave it away. It's a he, it's not a she, but he will be joining me as a regular co-host with me starting a week from today, Monday. That would be the 21st of October. I am truly excited about it. I hope you'll join me on Thursday night for Swallowpalooza Thursday when we roll it out. So with that in mind, I'm going to call it a day. As usual, we're going to end with the fight song. It's Rams. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on Thursday.